That's a good one. Oh, big one, son. Okay, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Oh yeah. Now we're talking. We're talking about big fish. Windy day today, big old giant bass. Chatterbait time. I'm going to show you a few things about the new setup for the chatterbait. And this is a big old bass. Look at this. Oh, he got off. Big old 6 or 7 pounder. Oh, son. Oh. Oh well. Okay. Here it is. It's a rough and windy day. And we're fishing some canal areas and some deep water drop-offs. There's a little bit of hydrilla here. Wind's blowing about 15 or 20 miles an hour. And I'm using a 3/4 ounce chatterbait. 20-pound fluorocarbon line. A nice heavy duty 7'1" heavy duty medium heavy action favorite rod with the new favorite reel. Okay. Hey, I had a good fish on that was really nice. And I'm going to show you what the compliments are for that. Here's what I'm doing. I'm taking this bait right here, and I'm using a new lure for the back of it. This is the new Cowboy series. I want to just show you what it looks like. The Cowboy series is a Yamamoto bait. It's made out of harder plastic, and it really is the perfect complement for these heavy-duty chatterbaits because it stays on the hook better. It's way stronger. It stays on the hook. And this isn't just a regular chatterbait. This is the Evergreen series, the really good high quality series chatterbait that really will pay off. It is the Jackhammer. There's one. Little one. He isn't real big. Yeah, it's not real big. With the wind blowing, I'll take them. You know, here's the big problem with today's fishing. We're in a little small aluminum boat, and the wind's blowing like crazy. So you have to have like a spinnerbait or a crankbait, in this case a chatterbait, something that you can, it's not a worm fishing day. In other words, it's just flying down this canal. You're almost out of control. The wind's blowing like crazy. And so I'm just throwing a reaction bait right to the edge of the canal. There's another one. Oh, something hit it. I don't know what it was. Anyway, that's the deal. Reaction bait. That's a good one. There's a good one. That's a better fish. That's a better fish. I let it sink down a little bit. I let it sink down, and I was fooling with the trolling motor, and I let it sink a little bit. Bam, this big one hit. Wow, that's what we're talking about. Nice big one. Woo! Again, we're just drifting out of control. So what are the kind of lures that you want to fish on a windy day? Well, this chatterbait's perfect because, you know, I can just throw it like a bullet. It just casts good in the wind. And that's the other big consideration. So often when you're in a heavy wind like this, you're just out of control. You can't throw something that you can't feel, like a little light worm. It's just really hard to do that. I know I can catch them along here with the Senkos, but you just wouldn't feel half the strikes. And it's just better to throw a reaction bait like this bait right here. Okay, that's another thing I like to do with these canals. It's 13 feet deep here. This is 13 feet. This is a deep canal. So I need to get real close to the edge. The key to fishing a deep water canal like this is to fish it's rock. When they built these canals in the Everglades, it's a sheer rock thing. They blasted with dynamite and everything else, and so it comes off the bank and it goes right down to 10 or 15 feet deep, just right off the bank. So you have to, I kind of like to throw parallel with the bank and throw right down it. Just make a nice long cast right down the bank, like that. And just kind of slow roll it along. This other side's the same way. There's a good one. Something, I don't know what it is. Down deep. That was down deep. I'll try that again, but I don't know. That wasn't much of a bass. Not a very big bass. Uh-oh. He was down deep. Deep in the water. Throw that back. what I did, I threw it back over there. Threw it right up there. Let it down deep. The wind is blowing like crazy. It's just a real hard day. And so I know there's some big fish around, and I wasn't planning on fishing a spinnerbait. I thought I was going to be able to fish worms or something. So what I did, I brought my spinnerbait kit. What this is anytime I need to get a spinnerbait, I build my own spinnerbaits right away. Okay, let's just look what I got in here. Okay, I got some trailers in here. I'll put those off. Okay, I got a bunch of spinnerbait bodies. Like here's a spinnerbait body. Just nothing on it at all. Just the one I bought from Netcraft. Okay, here's another one. This one happens to have some swivels and blades on it. This has a number 6 Hildebrandt blade. Now speaking of real high quality blades, when you're doing spinnerbaits, there's nothing any better than a Hildebrandt blade. Now I go to Netcraft and I buy just regular blades too, but these Hildebrandt blades are the best. I'm telling you, they're just really good. Now here's a number 5 Hildebrandt. Here's a number 6 Hildebrandt. Okay, so there's some good things. Now here's another chartreuse one with a number 6. That's a little bit big today. I don't know if I want to give to a 5 or 6. I don't know exactly what size to do right now. Now here's a nice blade. Here's an actual head that I got. It's a 1/2 ounce head that I got from Netcraft, and I went ahead and put the beads on it, and I put a number 2 Colorado blade on there. Now see what I'm going to do. I have these blades all rigged up. That's a big heavy duty swivel, and that's a number 5 Hildebrandt. So let me just put that on real quick. It's just so simple to do this. Have them all made up like this, and just take your pliers and just bend it right back into place again, right like this. I bent it right there. Now see, the blade's on there perfect, okay? Now, also I have a lot of skirts. I have every kind of skirt that you could ever imagine. Now there's nothing sacred in a spinnerbait. You make them according to what you want. I want a 1/2 ounce because the wind's blowing real hard. And I think white's good because it's not too muddy. And here's some Netcraft white silicone skirts right here. I'm going to kind of doctor this up a little bit. I'm going to show you what I think is really important in spinnerbait fishing. First of all, let's put the skirt on, okay? I put it right on there just like this. And put it up on there. Perfect, ready to go. Okay, that's a white spinnerbait. Oh, good. Is it ready to fish? Not really. Because I tell you, I have caught so many fish after the bass actually hit the bait. There's so many of them get off that what I do at this point is I will use a trailer hook. That trailer hook's a big deal. Trailer hook's a huge deal. What I'll do is I'll put this is a number 2-aught trailer hook, put it on, and I have a little piece of rubber right here that I can put it on with. And I'll cut it right here like this. Cut that little piece of rubber. Have it cut. I can do it with a knife. A knife will cut right here. Okay. Okay, I put the hook on the big hook. Boom. And this little piece of rubber, which I just had cut. And now put that on the hook itself. It's just a soft surgical tubing. And it goes right through the hook. And all that does is just hold the trailer hook, and it dangles free. See, it moves around free, okay? Now let's get a rod that's really a good complement for this. Now I'll just show you what I think is a good rod for that. Okay, first of all, a really good rod is about a 7-foot rod. And what I like is 20-pound either mono or fluorocarbon. This happens to be fluorocarbon in this case. Fluorocarbon has some problems though. Fluorocarbon is great to fish with, but it's a little fluffy. So unless you're a really good caster, you're probably better off with monofilament. But 20-pound monofilament or 20-pound fluorocarbon is about the right complement. I'm going to tie a Palomar knot, just come through with a double line, and make a big giant loop right here. And take the loop and put the spinnerbait through the loop as soon as I get it out. Okay, there, I got the loop right there. Put the whole big loop, put the spinnerbait right through there, like that. Pull it up tight. Oh, lost my little tag end. Pull it up tight. Pull the tag end tight. Cut the line. No. I get so much comments on, I'll do little stupid things like throw little pieces of line in the water, or throw a piece of plastic in the water. Boy, my people make terrible comments about how environmental disaster I am. What a anyway, I've really kind of cleaned up my act. I don't throw the little things in the water anymore. I don't throw the worms in the water anymore. So really, that's a big deal. Okay, I'll test it, but it's really, really, really strong. That's a brand new spinnerbait. Now, one thing that you have to remember on spinnerbaits, these wear out. Spinnerbaits, after you bend them a whole lot and catch a whole lot of fish, they will break there. Okay, that's a heavy-duty wire. It's a real heavy-duty wire. Let's see how it casts. Oh, it casts really good. Let's see how it feels. Oh, it thumps really good. Ooh, son. I like that. I like that. Let's make a cast right down the shoreline. Let's see if I can catch one. Ooh, and look at the water. That is such a cool, look at that spinnerbait. That is so, so cool. That's a big, big blade. It's making a lot of racket. That's a big spinnerbait. Okay, son. Get me a bass. Yes, sir. Okay, well that spinnerbait, look how windy it is. I mean, it's so windy, it's unbelievably windy. It's blowing like 30 miles an hour right now. And this is a perfect complement for this because you can just throw it out there in the big old flat of hydrilla and just ease it along and perfect. Oh, I think I had another strike. Now, I'll admit my fishing today has been kind of tough and I've had some bad luck, but I am telling you some really good technique on how to catch fish when it's really windy. You know, the spinnerbait is a great way of fishing. Of course, I showed you the chatterbait. The chatterbait was working really well. It had a really big one on the chatterbait as well. It's two of the great lures for the really rough and windy weather. It's kind of cool, cold front conditions we have right now. This morning was a perfect example. Things didn't go well, but I showed you some really good techniques. So listen, I enjoy you watching my YouTube. You guys are supporting this channel so well. Hey, thanks for your subscription. And also, I'm an old school teacher, and I just like telling you a few things. I don't always catch them, no, but at least I'm telling you the right thing. So listen, I appreciate you watching. We'll see you again soon.